Hi everyone, I'm really excited for this new self-propelled artillery update. The vehicles will have a total crew of 2. The range will be limited from the normal 1,000 meters to probably somewhere between 400 and 600 meters. I think 400 is likely because every time you cap territory, the map progresses another 400 meters. This also gives infantry and light tanks more of a chance to eliminate the artillery. For the most part, I am extremely optimistic about this update, but I am concerned about HQ spawns being bombarded with artillery. Perhaps the rounds can be deleted before they enter the spawn point, similar to what Squad does, or even just limiting the artillery to one vehicle will allow the enemy to spawn at the other 2 HQs. Another factor to consider is the fuel cost. How much should artillery be worth in fuel? Frankly, it should probably be a mid-tier vehicle at 300 fuel with a decent cooldown, so that destroying the vehicle makes it worthwhile to take one down. Overall, these new vehicles will likely be medium-armored vehicles, considering the developers have confirmed the 105 Sherman will be used on the US side. I think the most likely vehicles to be added will be the Marder, Su-76, and Bishop. And the good news is that this vehicle might work really well with the new cooldown mechanic the devs are implementing. Basically, instead of the cooldown occurring after the spawning of the vehicle, the cooldown only occurs after you have destroyed the vehicle. I like this a lot because, like I said earlier, cooldowns make you feel like you accomplished something big. The new cooldown system causes some potential issues, however. The truth is the meta is really focused around heavy tanks, and the best way to defeat a heavy tank, especially on maps like Kursk and Foy, is to use another heavy tank. The infantry have anti-tank guns, but only if they have the coordination to build one. Also, it has to be in the perfect spot, which is difficult when attacking, and the player has to have unlocked that class to begin with. If the anti-tank gun was a part of the rocket class, or you could reposition one easily, then I would be less concerned, but as of now, the cooldown is probably going to cause some issues. It is possible that heavy tanks will have some weak points in future updates. That way, a gang of medium tanks might be able to take a heavy down in 4 well-aimed shots to the front vision port or cupola, or at least scare one off to repair. I think that would be the best counter to finally once and for all end the annoying tank-heavy meta. So overall, I think any changes they make will work out, except for maybe the new Tinkerer class. Basically, it is a new class that lets you become a field mechanic, changing how your tank operates. You can either upgrade mobility, armor, or turret speed. I really see this as a negative because the most important option will always be armor. If you can take an extra hit over your opponent, you will always win. There is no need to add more armor and wreck the balance already in place between recon, light, medium, and heavy tanks. There might be something I'm not seeing here though. These upgrades are also being factored into the new environmental conditions for tanks. Tanks are about to feel very different in both the not getting stuck way, as well as the stay on the road, it's faster than driving in the mud way. So perhaps the upgrades are just an extension of that new system, and they won't be as overpowered or armor only as I thought. On top of this incredible armor rework, we are also getting a refreshed Stalinlag with more grad and less lag, as well as a brand new Eastern Front map, Smolensk. Why not Berlin? I'll never know, but all in all, I'm glad that this year we got new maps for the Soviets and the British. These factions need a lot of love. I mean, the Soviets came out in 2021, and they only have 3 maps, which is on par with the British that came out in 2024. That's why I get particularly annoyed when people ask for the Pacific Theater, when we already have overlooked factions. There is nothing wrong with wanting the Pacific Theater, I want it too, but Hell Let Loose is probably going to stay in Europe for the time being, except for Vietnam, which I'm hoping will be spectacular. Overall, Hell Let Loose is going to get a new coat of paint, and I can't wait to see what new bugs will appear, and the game will break for weeks and weeks in order to inhale the new said coat. Thanks everyone, jamming out.